What is up, ladies and gentlemen of the online Jamily? This, of course, here is JamiroFan 2000 with another episode of JamiroFan Talks About. For the uninitiated in this series, this has been my recurring discussion series here on my channel, looking at the past, present, and future of Jamiroquai. And they're now over 30 years in musical making. And this video in question is a little bit unfortunate in the sense that much like what happened with JK and his hats and all of his funky, amazing hats and all of his concoctionary creations that JK had landed on his head. Unfortunately, I'm the bearer of bad news, but according to the Jamiroquai official social media during this first week of June of 2023, it appears that JK's Automaton hat has gone missing. That's right, JK's hat has gone missing. According to the official Jamiroquai social media, and this was not just on Twitter, this was all over their social media. Apparently, JK was sending out one of his Automaton hats, and I don't know which one this was because there are two different Automaton hats made during the Automaton album era between 2017 to 2020. There was a short-bladed and a large-bladed version of the Automaton hat, which of course was made originally by the lighting artist Moritz Waldemar for JK, or should be commissioned to make one for JK. Well, it appears that this hat, in addition to it being very, very fragile and very, very complex and having one hell of a large battery pack and lots of lighting and lots of effects in it. It appears that this hat was in transit on a train from King's Cross to Luton over in the UK for repairs, and apparently it was cased in a large orange box, but the hat was non-functioning and was, like I said, en route for being repaired. Well, apparently somebody stole it. Somebody stole the Automaton hat, and so far for like I said, this whole week of first week of June 2023, the band have been reaching out on social media trying to find anybody who would just happen to be in transit on that train between King's Cross and Luton in the UK, if they have any more information on who possibly swiped that Automaton hat. But this is not the first time that JK has unfortunately had one of his hats go missing. Back during the traveling without moving era of Jamiroquai, JK was doing an interview, I believe it was on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno in 1996 or 7, where he noted that his black top hat, of course, one of the most well-known Jamiroquai funky hats, of course, the one from the Virtual Insanity music video from 1996. Well, apparently that hat went missing on a airlines flight on American Airlines between the east to west coast of the United States when Jamiroquai was on their world tour supporting Traveling Without Moving. It is unknown if that hat was ever found, but this is not the first time that JK unfortunately had one of his hats go pilfered and disappear. So I'm doing my part on my social media to let everybody know at least the residents of the UK just so happen to be on that train. If they have any more information about who possibly took JK's Automaton hat, just get in touch with them on social media, on Twitter, and of course on Instagram and on Facebook at Jamiroquai HQ. If you have any more information or news tips on where the band could possibly find the Automaton hat. I do have a little more additional information. Many members of the Jamily, at least online and social media, have been speculating, given that this news came out on social media out of just left field, completely unexpected. Some members of the Jamily are theorizing that this was a bit of a publicity stunt, that this was purposely put out there to potentially set up the next album era for Jamiroquai, because of course we know, it's common knowledge that JK and the members of Jamiroquai have confirmed they are currently working in the studio on the 9th Jamiroquai album, which will optimistically and speculatively hopefully see some type of release sometime 2024, maybe 2025 at the latest. But many members of the Jamily, or at least small members of the Jamily, have been speculating that this was a publicity stunt done by Jamiroquai to potentially usher in the promotions or the hinting towards the next 9th Jamiroquai album. Because back in 2016, there was some hinting at the Automaton album being done on social media, mostly on Instagram, with them posting pictures of famous sci-fi movies in expectation towards the eighth Jamiroquai album, which would of course turn out to be Automaton. But I did reach out to Jamiroquai HQ, and they did confirm to me that this is not a publicity stunt. This actually happened on a train between King's Cross and Luton in the UK, and they're hoping some great Samaritan who was on that train will have the information which could ultimately lead authorities to finding where the Automaton Hat went, whoever pilfered it from that train ride between those two locations in the UK. But I've done my part, and I hope that Jamiroquai is able to get this hat back. Of course, like I said, it's a non-functional state, and it was en route to be repaired, hopefully by the people, by the Moritz Wallenmeyer people, to get the hat functioning again for the upcoming tour date of European Festival Tour, which was coming up between June to September of 2023. Of course, here on my channel, if any more information comes out, if when the hat gets found or anything, I'll be definitely reporting in a future episode here on the JamiroFan 2000 YouTube channel. But fingers crossed that this hat can be found. But if you have any more information, I'll be sure to put a link to the tweet from the official Jamiroquai social media, or the tweet and the post and everything, down in the description area of this episode of JamiroFan Talks About down below. So be sure to consult that if you happen to have been somebody who lives in the UK that was on a train that day, that is subscribed in the tweet and post, and be sure to report to the Jamiroquai HQ social media on the direct message if you happen to have any news tips, because there is a reward for anybody who provides information that leads to the finding of this very fragile, very technologically advanced Jamiroquai hat, hopefully getting back into the hands of JK and the band. But as always, this is JamiroFan 2000. I hope you like this episode of JamiroFan Talks About. Be sure to like and subscribe, and be sure to ding the bell on your YouTube to stay up to date on all the latest new content coming from the JamiroFan 2000 YouTube channel as we go right into the European Music Festival tour season for 2023. Like I said, between June to September of 2023. I will be covering it on my YouTube channel, and of course on the two twin subreddits of the online Jamly and our Jamiroquai and our Reddit Jamly during those months. So keep your eyes off for further updates on those musical appearances by the band Jamiroquai in 2023. But as always, this is JamiroFan 2000, and I'll see you again really soon with more Jamiroquai related videos here on the JamiroFan 2000 YouTube channel. Bye bye, everybody. Thank you again, everyone, for the support, and I'll see you around.